All right, Trevon. So next up, we have the LA Lakers, the team that your favorite player plays for, going out to La La Land. So give me what your in-season grade is, your off-season grade, and where you see them going moving forward into next season.
All right, let's get straight to it. In season F, I give them a straight F. This is the first and probably the only F we're gonna get on this series. Right. So reason Russ played bad. AD didn't step up. LeBron was the only positive, and they didn't make the play. Simple. I mean, what made Russ's downfall this past season, I mean, the performance on the court is one thing, but his attitude and his press conferences, all that, just the way he kind of embraced it or went about everything, I feel like that amplified it and made it way worse. I felt like a lot of that he could have had a different attitude about it, and I understand Frank Vogel. I'm pretty sure a lot of stuff went on behind the scenes that we won't know about maybe down the road if he does something, says comes out and says something, but you really never know what's going on behind those locker rooms, uh, which is why I feel like some frustration happened. But still, the way he just went about it, like he didn't own up to his performance on the court. I feel like people could accept that if he would have owned up to it. But next year, hopefully, he can find something with Darvin him, LeBron, and AD, and all those guys can get on the same page. Hopefully, next season, AD, he got to do something about his body. And I know a lot of this stuff you can't really control injuries too much, but I feel like you can do your best to prevent them. He has to be available. If he's not available, they're going to be in the same spot as they were last year. If we could just get 70 games, 65 games from Anthony Davis, something, I felt like the Lakers could actually have a shot at least to make the play in. And when he does play, we need him to be aggressive. We don't need him falling away jumpers, falling away floaters, hitting the ground 20 times a game. AD's got to become a dog. AD's got to play like bubble AD. AD's got to be more aggressive and assertive and take the load off of LeBron. And if he's dominating, maybe that changes the dynamic. That changes the dynamic of the whole team with his defensive presence. AD's got to step up. LeBron, I feel like only thing LeBron needs to do is show a little bit better leadership. He has a lot of bad body language plenty of times when things go bad. I feel like he's got to realize that how he acts is going to rub the rest of the team. His play on the court, there's nothing we can say about the man. I mean, he's about to be the number one scoring leader of all time. So I feel like his play on the court needs to stay the same, but his leadership needs to change. So F for the end season. Off season, I gave him like a C. Uh, they haven't made any big moves, but I feel like what they did do is valuable enough because one of their issues was age last year. So immediately, first thing I put was they made their roster younger, which is ultimately going to help LeBron and those other guys. So that's pretty much one of the positives. And adding leadership in Patrick Beverly, he may not be the best offensive player, but he's going to fight. He's going to play hard. He's gonna stay on guys. He's gonna hold people accountable. Even LeBron and AD and Russ, he's not afraid to speak his mind. And I felt like leadership is one of the things that was missing last year. But just to, I mean, but simply put, they haven't made any big moves yet. But I feel like making the roster younger is the most important thing that they have done so far. So off season, I give them a C. In season, I give them a straight F. Terrible. Next season, probably hovering around between 8 and 6.
Trevon, I agree with everything you said. Uh, I mean, that was a mic drop. Honestly, if we wanted to end the video there, we could. I just gave you the mic and you just, took it over from there. But nah, so I'm gonna give you my in season grade. So I I completely agree with you. I give him an F. I mean, it was a failure. Uh, People are expecting LeBron led teams, especially with this kind of star power with Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook, they're expecting them to contend, and they did not live up to those expectations, didn't even make the play in. So I think you hit the nail on the head there. I'll touch on what you talked about with Russ. I do agree with you. I think he could have handled it a lot better. And I know he was feeling disrespected by a lot of people, but I think for the most part, for the exceptions of people threatening his family and disrespecting his name, I understand that part. But when people were most people were talking about his game. You know, he didn't play well, so I think that he could have taken a little more accountability there. Uh, I think he's definitely gonna work hard and come back stronger next year. But I mean, he just didn't play well, and for the most part, from the people that I heard speaking on, things with Russ, they were talking about his game. They weren't really saying other things. So I think he's gonna, take that into account. I feel like he's gonna, work hard and come back stronger next year. But I don't think it was all his fault. The Lakers had a lot of things going on. They had many other problems and many other issues that I think contributed to this kind of season that they had. And I think it all starts with the fit. I just don't think the fit of LeBron, AD, and Westbrook with the pieces that they had around them, I just don't think it fit. It was just hard for them to get anything going. And then you go to the injuries. They didn't play a lot of games together. They played, I forget the number, but they played, I believe, less than 30 games together over the season, maybe a little more. But it just never came together. So I don't want people to think that I'm saying that it's all Russ's fault, because it's not. There's a lot of other things going on with things like AD being injured. Sometimes LeBron was injured. The pieces around them, I don't think that they were built very well. And they didn't have much wiggle room to make any trades or to sign any big time players. So I just think it was a F for last season. Off season, I think that they did well. I would give them a B. I think the signing of Pat Bev definitely is going to help them out with defense leadership, and he can shoot wide open. I think catch and shoot, provide a little bit of spacing. I think he does good with that. Getting younger, like signing Damon Jones, getting Lonnie Walker. Uh, I think that helped out. They did have to get rid of Taylor Horton Tucker, which I think was a good thing for the Lakers, and I actually think it probably is a good thing for Taylor. Um, the only thing I wish that they could have found a way to keep Stanley Johnson, because I think he was like the only player that was actually consistently playing defense on that team last year. But you do get younger, and you can fill in players to replace what Stanley brings to the team. I kind of wish that they traded Russ, because I feel like that would be best for both Russ and the Lakers. Even though I feel like they can figure it out, I feel like LeBron, AD, and Russ can figure it out, but it's gonna just take a little more effort. And getting Darvin Ham, I think that does help with the possibility of them figuring it out. I just feel like they would have a better time if they had a player that fits in better with you know their different the different play styles. So that's just my opinion of it. I feel like they'll be in around the 6 or 7 spot, I would say, somewhere around there. So that's my prediction for them for next season.